everybody, Ali Akbarian, your resident road safety expert from Mobility Engineering, back again for another Q&A. Thank you very much for sending in those questions. Keep them coming in. We love those questions. And as we always say, with our trusty subscribe pillow, hit the button that looks a bit like this pillow down there. Subscribe to our channel. We'd love you to give us that support and give us that love all the way to 1,000 subscribers. That's our big goal. So please hit that and help us get our goal. All right, so on to today's question. And today's question is around old modified vehicles. So we have a person that's written in and they've basically said, I've got a vehicle that's 30 years old. So I think it was 1991. And it's an old modified wheelchair vehicle. It's got restraints in it, it's got a cutout, and the question is, can I still use it? It's also got an engineer certificate that is 30 years old as well, right? So he's got a car that's 30 years old, was modified 30 years ago, and an engineer certificate that's 30 years old. And the question that's come in is that certificate still valid, and can I still use the car? So, it's a bit of a complicated answer, but basically, if the car is registered right now, and when it's registered, it means you have an active or a current registration for it. It's got number plates on it and so on, and you've got a copy of that certificate, then you're allowed to continue to use that. So the way the laws work is if the vehicle is registered, it's basically legal based on the rules that it was made to at that time, right? However, if the vehicle becomes unregistered and then you need to go and re-register the vehicle, you're going to have a problem. Because when you go to re-register vehicles, the engineer certificates that have to be issued for them have to be new. You can't have old certificates for re-registrations or new registrations. Seems a bit weird, but you can have them a little bit older, like I think it's within the last 5 years, but basically you can't have these old, 30-year-old certificates, basically. That's the bottom line. So yeah, if you've got an old certificate and your vehicle's out of registration and then you want to go get it re-registered, they're not going to accept that old certificate. So what that means is you need to go and get your vehicle re-inspected. Now, re-inspected is not a big problem because when you're engineering the vehicle, you're still engineering the vehicle to those old times and those old standards. So even if things have changed in today's day and age, you should be able to get that car and those modifications engineered or certified. But there is a big but, and everything that gets inspected by the certifier needs to be in new working condition. So if you've got 30-year-old restraints, a 30-year-old lifter, everything is tired and 30 years old, an engineer is not going to sign off on that because they are signing off on it for potentially another 30 years. And they're signing off on it based on what they see at that point in time. So if they're seeing frayed belts with no labels, things that are old lifters that are tired and not really working and meet old standards and things like that, then yeah, they're going to have some problems. So yeah, it's a little bit complicated. The bottom line is if you've got an old vehicle, it's registered and you've got a certificate, no problems. If you've got an old vehicle, it's unregistered and you've got an old certificate, you've got a bit of a problem, you've got to go to get it re-certified. If you've got an old vehicle and you've got no certificate at all, then you still got to go get it certified. But I'm going to guess that you may have a very difficult time getting it certified because there could be a reason why it was uncertified for 30 years. Maybe it wasn't actually, compliant or legal or something like that. So yeah, hopefully that kind of answers the questions around that. It can be a little bit confusing around these old vehicles, and if you are unsure about that, hit us a question below, or just basically drop us a line on Mobility Engineering, and we're happy to clarify it for you as well. All right, thanks very much for tuning in. Keep those questions coming in, and we'll see you next time.